Hey guys, Chaz here from Pugliese Speed Shop, and as you probably know, at least I hope so, last week we were up in Carlisle, PA for that big, spring swap meet, and it was awesome, right? While I was there, I witnessed something that was just as, actually, dare I say, more awesome, if that's even possible. And I want to share with you guys on this week's Tuesday Morning Tech Tip from Pugliese Speed Shop. So if you guys remember from the last episode, it was just amazing up there in Carlisle, right? There was cars for sale everywhere. Some were crazy prices. Some were pretty good. Some I thought were real good. The internet disagreed with me. That's fine. Tools, parts, just everything like automobile and Americana you could possibly think of, right? We got some good stuff, right? Not as much as we would like to, but hey, we're trying to stay focused, right? Speaking of staying focused, let's talk what this video is actually about. So everybody gets into cars, and for a different reason, right? For me and for I swear it's got to be 90% of the people that I've met. Their old man was into cars. They were working out there in the driveway with him. At first because he had to get to work in the morning, had to fix the car. Then, as you get more established in life, you might get a hot rod, a little project, whatever, and then it just becomes fun, right? And then you remember, well, sometimes you remember during even working on that project, that hot rod, it ain't always fun, but the end result is great. You're spending time with somebody you care about, and guys, you can't beat that, right? And there's all sorts of programs you see that are dedicated just to this, right? There's take a kid to a car show. There's always those kind of things, right? Where you're trying to get the younger people involved. And guys, I know with the prices of some of this stuff, it's hard. I mean, that's why I mess with stuff like this that might not cost as much as if you tried to mess with something like this. They're attainable still, but you got to look. And, as I say, Barrett Jackson and, Gas Monkey Garage and all that stuff you can watch on television kind of ruined the price game for, everybody else that's just wanting to just dabble a little bit, right? So it seems like you're not seeing as many young guys into vehicles because, guys, the prices, it just drives people out. And then you got the haters that are like, oh, that's not really a hot rod, that's not this, and all the four doors don't count, or whatever, right? It's always something like that. But, guys, I was standing there, and I watched this happen in front of me. I saw a picture of this project, and it reminded me of something else that I dealt with recently, and I'm going to share both of those with you guys right now. All right, guys. So me and Jay are hanging out, right? We're there at the New Boys Square Body Rescue booth, which is so fitting, right? We had just met Corey and his wife, and saw everything they were doing over there. It was awesome. We'll put a little thing. You got to check this guy out, all right? But so we're there talking to him, just, talking about square bodies, right? And this kid comes up. He's about 14 or 15. He's with his dad, right? And he's carrying a box of parts, right? I'm like, what is this? Just miscellaneous, like window regulators, he had a cruise control module. I think he actually had a wing window, a couple of little things, right? But all parts from his square body. Right? So Corey knew the guy, and knew him and the kid there. So he's talking to them. Apparently, he's helped them out with parts, because that's what he does, guys. Guy's good, I'm telling you. So they went, he helped them out with parts, and he had some leftovers from this build. He's finishing up, guys. He's had the thing for 2 years. So when he was 12 or 13, he bought this truck, right? And it's not just your run-of-the-mill square body. He's building a Fall Guy truck. So for you guys that don't know, the Fall Guy was a TV show back in the 80s. I think it came out in 80, 81, 82, around there. And we'll have the kid throw a picture of the truck up. Maybe we'll even throw a video in. could probably find a video, right, buddy? All right. So it was similar, I don't know, maybe the truck version of, like Dukes of Hazzard and Starsky and Hutch and all those kind of like wild chase scene, jumping stuff, all that kind of thing, right? And the truck was straight modified, right? It was I believe it was a K20. And then so they've had and that's what we're talking with the guy. He's done all the research, right? And there was a couple of different trucks between some were round. I think like the Pilot had a round headlight one, and then it was a square one in the show. And it wasn't, and he said this himself, yeah, Dukes of Hazzard. All right, 69 Charger, painted orange, '01, Rebel flag, get after it, right? Fall Guy truck wasn't like that. It seemed like the episodes, they changed a little bit for what they were doing in those episodes. Some of them had these compartments like on the bed that flipped out, some didn't. Some had a roll bar that went into one spot. The steps, he was trying to find the steps, those exact steps this guy had on these trucks. Got one like $800 for him or something. It was crazy. So he found, Carlisle guys, he found a set there that I couldn't tell the difference, and they were $20. That's an easy decision, right? So they're building us in together, guys. He showed us all sorts of pictures. I wish I had them. I don't. But I got to see him. So, me and Jay and Corey, we're pretty lucky. But the truck was coming out awesome, and you look at it, and that's as soon as I saw it, I was like, he's building a Fall Guy truck. And truth be told, guys, I didn't watch the show growing up. But it's that big, just, right? And I saw it and knew it right away. So this kid is doing this, man. And, like, not only that, he's smart, right? He had a bunch of parts he wasn't going to use, so what did he do? He brought him to Corey, said, hey, this guy is selling, square body stuff. He'll give me a couple bucks back and I can go buy something else. Probably, how he bought those steps or whatever, right? So he's been doing this the whole time, guys. He's doing the work, and it's just awesome to see father and son project and, just somebody else. We're passing the torch, right? Bringing it up. I got some in my eye. Think we got it. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, it was awesome to see this. And I was kind of in awe, right? And, Corey, he ended up buying some of the parts off, and whether he needed them or not, I don't think he cared, because he wanted to make sure that this kid was keeping it going, right? So, hats off to him. Hats off to everybody involved, right? So now, as I watched that, I was like, man, this is awesome. This is what it's all about, right? Not this guy over here selling a 57 Chevy for $125,000. Not that guy. That guy he can go do some things by himself, But this, when I was watching, a kid putting a truck together with his father, that's what hot rodding is all about, not this money-making thing. So it reminded me of something that happened recently. Remember, we built the S10 like 100 years ago. We had some parts left over, like you do with every project, and I was just trying to get rid of stuff. And I'd given some stuff away, sold some stuff on Facebook, whatever. I had the last couple things in an ad on Facebook for months, guys. And it was probably, I don't know, a couple $100 worth of parts. I just wanted to get rid of it, right? So I had it over there for that's $50 or something. Guy hits me up. Hey, I'm in Jersey. Can we meet somewhere? I said, this guy, right? But he needed the parts. And they were kind of hard. It took me a while to find some. I know some of these S10s, it was hard to find stuff. They rust a lot, guys. But so here I was like, I was in Jersey at the time. I was like, you know what, dude? I'm in Jersey. I got to go home this weekend. I'll bring him back. He's like, dude, awesome. So I do. And I hit him up and I say, hey, man, got the parts. I'm up here in, Tom's River. So he's about an hour and a half away. And he's like, man, I hate to ask you, but could we meet in the middle? I'm like, I don't know the balls of this guy, right? I brought him to Jersey from Maryland. But then he tells me, he's like, yeah, I just started a second job and I'm trying to get this truck together and I can't do this. I was like, I got it, right? I had some time. I was up there by myself. So when I'm not working, what am I doing, right? So I threw the parts in the car and I said, all right, man, I'll meet you. And we met exactly halfway, guys. It was funny. Like I said, here's where we'll go. We left at the same time. We pulled in the same exact time to this ice cream joint up there. And I didn't realize at the time, young guy, probably about the same age as a kid, 22, 23. He had this S10. He had lowered. He had a cap on, like the snug top. He had this custom paint. He's doing everything he can. And he said, the guy's working 2 jobs just to get this thing where he wants it. And I was like, dude, awesome. So then he's like, hey, man, I want to give you some extra money for meeting me, right? I was like, no, you're not going to do that. In fact, just here, take the parts. I don't never sit in my shop forever. And he's like, no. He's trying to pay me. I said, dude, you're doing the damn thing, man. These are your parts. I don't need them. I was just trying to get him out of here. So he was super appreciative, right? And I know he's hooking up that truck because the truck, guys, I wish I had a picture of that one. I probably should have taken a picture of that. But it was awesome. You guys don't look. I'll find a similar picture and have the kid throw it up because they're out there, right? We'll find. Maybe I'll find his. Who knows? The internet's crazy. But that was just 2 examples of guys working, trying, younger guys especially, to get their stuff going, to build what they want to build. And it was just, it kind of came into like all the culmination. I think that's the right word. When I was there at the spring swap meet, because like I said, no kidding, me and Jay were walking around. We saw a 60 Impala. It was beautiful, 4-speed, 348 car. I mean, it was immaculate, on air, all that kind of stuff. The guy was trying to sell it for 135,000. And there was Tri-5s up there with crazy prices and in the hundreds and 80s and stuff. And I'm like, bro, really? So when you see somebody that young trying to put together something that means the world to them, guys, 100 times better than all that crap. So think about that when you're out there trying to, you're selling your project, or you're selling your parts left over, or you're selling your parts car, or whatever. Think about that. It ain't all about getting rich. It's about passing the stuff on and making sure the next generation is there and has a love for it like we do to keep it going. Thanks for watching, guys.